interwebs. So today I bring you a very long overdue video, and that is me gushing to you all about my San Diego Comic-Con experience. So for those of you who don't know, I did go to San Diego Comic-Con, and if there's some of you who don't know what that is, it's basically the nerd epicenter of the entire world, and it's great. And if you have an opportunity to experience it, I highly suggest that you do. It was so overwhelming. I have been to New York Comic-Con, which is pretty huge, but going to San Diego was just a completely different level of just, I can't even describe. I got there on Tuesday and I volunteered Wednesday night, I volunteered Thursday, Friday, but I was on the floor Thursday through Saturday, and it was a great experience. And before I went, I was kind of thinking, like, I'm glad I'm experiencing this once because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this again. But now that I've done it and I'm home and it's almost a month after the fact and I'm still suffering from withdrawals, I need to go, like, every year. First, I'm going to tell you about my volunteering experience. If you are not familiar, San Diego does offer a volunteer program. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to offer them 3 hours of your time to do essentially slave labor, but you can't complain because you do get a free pass out of it. Now, I had entered my name to do a preview night because if you do preview night, you get a free day where you don't have to volunteer because you're not allowed on the floor on preview night. So I ended up getting picked to volunteer on Wednesday night and therefore got a free day on Saturday where I didn't have to work or anything. Volunteering was fun. I mean, you just have to be prepared to stand and you have to be prepared to kind of do tedious, boring kind of things that you may feel are just, why am I doing this? But at the end of the day, it was great. One of my assignments, my first assignment, was line management. So I was doing the pre-order and non-pre-order t-shirt line, and that was fun because my supervisor was great. He was so personable. He reminded me of John C. Reilly, and I had to do a double take a few times because I was like, is that you? Fun. I really enjoyed that one because I met a lot of cool people that way. And then the next day I did, what did I do the next day? Oh, I did the entry floor or the entry pod, whatever they called it. Basically, all I did was I handed out, when you go to Comic-Con, you get your like bag with the program and your little lanyard, and I was making those for 3 hours straight. And after the first hour, me and the girl I was with, we were like, oh my gosh. It was long, it was tedious, it got old really quick, but like I said, I was happy to be there. We were looking at everybody's cool cosplays. There was a really cool Disney cosplay group there, and they were so on point. Like, my mind was blown. Friday, I ended up volunteering on the floor itself. So that was really cool because I got a really early shift, so I had to be there at 7 a.m., which the night before I was up really late and I was just like, wow, I'm exhausted. But I went and I met really cool people doing it, and we got to do line management for a Divergent book signing because the author was there. So I thought that was pretty awesome, and it was a little bit overwhelming to do crowd control on the floor itself because it was, oh my goodness, when you're doing line control, you have to keep certain areas free, and then people have to be in a single file line so people can walk around them, and it was just, oh my goodness. And I've never been so thankful for being a cheerleader in my entire life until I got to San Diego, because I was able to project my voice, get everybody's attention, and tell them what to do. That was my volunteering experience. Really great. Met a lot of cool people, met some not so cool people, but either way, such a blast. Comic-Con itself. Now, can I please just, I'm going to have a moment right now, because when I walked on the floor for the very first time on Thursday morning, because my Thursday volunteer shift wasn't until later, so I was able to go in the morning and kind of hang out, and I walked on the floor and I couldn't stop smiling. I felt myself like I was about to cry, because this is something that I've talked about now for a really long time, and every year I sit and I lust after San Diego Comic-Con, and I was like, I'm gonna go someday, I'm gonna go someday, but it was one of those things where you say it but you never think you're gonna actually do it. So when I got there, it was just, I can't. It was so beautiful and wonderful, and it was a magical land of rainbows and unicorns, and Kristen was in heaven for an entire weekend. And I just, if you have an opportunity to do it, whether you're into this kind of a culture or not, do it, because it is a world of its own and it is great. One of the guys who was working the booth when I walked in, he noticed and he was like, "You look so happy to be here." I was like, "Sir, you do not understand what it took getting here." I was so pleased with myself. I walked on the floor and my brain melted. I didn't even know where to start. I knew I had booths that I wanted to go to, but that all went out the window the second that I was on the floor. And also, I mentioned this in my preparing for San Diego video, I had my schedules listed, I had everything done, everything I wanted to do, and the second I got there, that was forgotten, out of my mind, and I just wung it. I showed up the things I wanted to go to. If I saw something cool and interesting, I stopped. If I saw that there was a panel going on and there was space, I was like, cool, I'm gonna go in. So it was as much planning as you can do for it, as much as I would say try to plan for it. Once you get there, especially if it's your first time and you're just in the moment like I was, nothing's gonna go as planned. On Thursday, I knew I wanted to go shopping, so after I had done my volunteering shift, I went on the floor and I was just like, I need to buy things, I need to buy things. But I was so overwhelmed by the sheer number of things that I could have bought that the first shiny thing I saw, which were gold resin paperweights, and can we please just take a moment to discuss how of all of the things that I could have bought at San Diego Comic-Con, I come home with 5 paperweights. Like, mutts. I saw the first shiny thing in front of my eye and I was like, give me all of them that you have. So I have 5 of them. I will link my video down below where I show you everything that I bought. I also bought a little mini Stan Lee, and they had ones that were over $200, the ones that I got were like 20, but it was crazy. So at that booth, they had a little baby Iron Man, and I think they're called Nendoroid Iron Mans. If you're familiar with it, you know that these things are absolutely adorable, and I was buying Stan Lee, and I told the guy, I was like, I want one of those. And he's like, it's just a prototype, sweetheart. And I was like, so you're not selling it? He's like, no, it's the only one we have. I'm like, so you're not selling it? And I wanted this stupid little Iron Man so bad, and sadly I didn't get it. But with San Diego, I was just so overwhelmed. That's gonna be the word of this video, but I was just like on an overload of just cool things being slammed in my face, in my brain. I couldn't handle it, so as soon as I got my hands on like cool things that I thought were cool, and I got like a little Iron Man bank, he's chilling right there. Once I got my hands on things I was satisfied with, I'm like, they're going in the car and I'm gonna enjoy myself now. So after Thursday, I didn't shop at all. Overall, the floor is huge. They have the main floor, they have the artist alley, they have a whole other section, and the other cool thing about San Diego is there is tons of stuff to do off-site if you don't have a pass to get in. Saturday is kind of like the big day. I was kind of already decided in my mind that I wasn't going to try to do Hall H, and once I got there and I realized people were lining up on like Thursday night, Friday for Hall H, I was like, this is serious. I can't handle that. So once I saw Hall H line, I was like, nope, not even touching that with a 10-foot pole. So Saturday, I get on the floor, and Saturday was my photography day. So I went around, I took a bunch of pictures. I will have a blog post linked down below with a bunch of the pictures that I took at the booth. And I'm walking past the Marvel booth, and I look over, and I felt like I had a Mark Ruffalo moment. I was like, is that Paul Rudd? And I stopped, I took some pictures, I saw Michael Douglas there, so that was pretty cool. And then I was talking to one of the guys who was working the stage, and I was just like, you know, what's going on for today? Because I didn't have any schedules, I didn't know what was happening. And he said, oh, the Avengers are doing a signing at 3 or 2:45, 3:45. It was sometime way far in the future, so I was like, I'm gonna stay. So I ended up going onto the floor, and I somehow worked my way up to the front, and I met so many cool guys at this booth. I met so many cool people. So we were all standing there for hours at this point, and it was really nice. We're sitting there chatting away. I was telling them how I'm waiting for my call from Marvel because, hello, you have so many redhead characters, and like, I don't have my hair down, so this doesn't really work when I try to do a hair flip, but I have natural red hair. Like, hello, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I'm not hating on the Marvel girls. However, I think that there's room for me in the MCU. Just saying. So I caught their entrance on video, which is like the priding moment in my life, and I don't know why I'm so proud that I caught this on video, but here it is for your viewing pleasure.
Peter. Yeah! Chris Evans. Mark Ruffalo, James Peter, Chris Evans, Olivia Olsen, Jeremy Howard, Kobe Smulders, and Samuel L. Jackson.
He'll show up late.
Things were crazy, and as soon as they came out, I felt like I was in a mosh pit. Like, we were thrusted forward, the girls were screeching, and I am a big supporter of fangirling. I spend my videos fangirling to the internet. However, when you're in the presence of the person you're fangirling over, I need you to keep some modicum of composure, just something, because we were 12 feet away from the cast of the Avengers. Like, I could see them clearly, visibly. They were real people, which, by the way, completely blew my mind, because it's one of those things where I admire these people and I know that they're real people, but I never expect that my eyes are going to process their being in like real life. So for me, as soon as I saw them, I was like, wow, I feel myself losing it, but I'm gonna keep it together because I'm not doing this in front of them. So we were very visible to the cast of the Avengers, and these girls are just weeping and screeching and yelling at them to have their children, and I just, I don't, like I said, I am a huge fan. I fangirl all the time, but if they're right in front of me, I'm going to tamp down a little bit, because when I was watching them and their reactions to the girls that were screaming at them to have their children, and they were just kind of, they looked very uncomfortable, and I'm very good at reading people, at picking up nonverbal communication, body language. I'm very good at that kind of thing. So I was observing, as I normally do. I people watch, it's creepy, I know. And they just looked so uncomfortable, and I don't, it's one thing to be a fan and appreciate what somebody does, and then it's another thing to cry and weep and then scream, literally scream at them to have your children. I just don't know what it is you're trying to accomplish, because if it is their children that is your end goal in mind, acting calm, cool, and collected and allowing them to appreciate you because you're good looking or whatever it may be, even though that's not going to happen, but you have more of a chance of it happening if you're just like cool about it than if you're crying at them and telling them to have your children. They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. Like I said, I was freaking out on the inside, and as soon as it was over, I went to the car and I called my mom, freaking out, like freaking out. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not gonna do it in front of people, and if that's what you do, that's what you do, man. Like, more power to you if that's what you're about. But I just, for me, I never understood the weeping and the screaming and the have my children, Chris, Jeremy, have my baby. And I also caught footage of Mark Ruffalo and Lou Ferrigno having a moment. So like the Hulks collided. It was great. It was wonderful. So I also have that on video. Marvel Marvel booth experience was incredible. It was great. I had the time of my life, and there was no words to describe it other than absolute insanity. Between me seeing these people 12 feet away, the girls next to me, the guys around me, we had a great old time. So it was a lot of fun. It was very, like I've said 800 times, it was very overwhelming. I did my friend Brittany's Kanama cosplay makeup on Sunday, I believe it was. Yes, Sunday. And she was hanging out downtown, and MTV saw her and they tweeted a picture of her, and I did that makeup, and I felt so proud of myself. I had this like profound sense of achievement because this happened. And then I just started kicking myself because I wanted to have business cards made before I went to San Diego for my YouTube, for my contact information, whatever it may be, and I didn't have them made. And I can't tell you how many people asked me for a business card because I was talking to a lot of people, telling them what I do, they were telling me what they do, and they're like, oh, you have a card? And I'm like, I'm an idiot and I don't, I'm sorry. But that was San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know if any of this video made sense. I just had a huge moment for the entire weekend, and when I came home, I literally just passed out for a day because I was just go. I got to see my friends who I don't ever see because my friend Brittany lives all the way in Seattle and I never see her, so I got to spend time with her. I got to spend time with my cousin who I never see, and me and my cousin are just like two peas in a pod. I got to go to Comic-Con. We went all around San Diego also, which that video is coming up. I know I've been like really far behind on everything. So overall, Comic-Con, man, I know I have to do it again. And my mom might be coming with me next year, which I'm so excited about because if anybody knows my mother, you know she is a hoot. She is a grand old time. So I hope she comes because Tom Hiddleston is supposed to be there next year for Crimson Peak, and I've mentioned this before, my mother is queen of the Tom Hiddleston fan club. So she found that out and she's texting me on my Comic-Con. She's like, we're going next year. And it was funny, my mom's so cute, I love her. She was texting me during Comic-Con because she was watching all the live feeds. She was watching on Twitter what was happening, and she knew I was at the Marvel booth waiting for the signing because I wasn't going to go to Hall H. And she's texting me like, oh, this one's there, they're on their way. Robert Downey Jr. just tweeted a picture, what should he wear today? I was like, Mom, I love you, you're the greatest. So shout out to my mom because I know you watch all of my videos, and it was great. And everybody loved you that I met because my little group at the Marvel booth, I was telling them like, oh, my mom's keeping me up to date, and they were like loving it. So I'm going to end this video now. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you've stayed this long, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out all of my links in the down bar, as well as my blog post featuring all of the pictures that I took. So until the next time, I will see you guys in the next video.